Stage lights cold as a winter rain. One breath, one prayer, then the world went strange. Crowd froze up when the thunder cracked. Truth on a mic and a life attacked. He talked about hope in a storming land, Bible in the heart and a promise in his hands. But a shadow reached from a coward's perch, cut down a son in the middle of church. And I swear if the tables turned the other way, y'all know there'd be fires in the streets today. But here we stand with candles and a folded flag, begging God for mercy on the road we drag. How dare they steal the breath from a faithful man? How dare they stain the grass where his boots once stand? They call us evil, point at our cross, then pull that trigger and reckon no cost. If it were theirs, there'd be sirens and flames, but we're praying for truth while we whisper his name. Charlie, we ain't letting go of your hand.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, good evening, Erie County. How are we doing tonight on this? Wow, it is 2026. It's hard to say, hey, we're going to do that next year because guess what? Next year is here. And that's fine. I hope everybody had a safe New Year's Eve. Brendan and I were a little under the weather. Feeling much better today. Thank you very much. So, the sniffles and sneezing and stuff has pretty much gone to the wayside. So we're, got our appetites back. We're not sitting here shivering to death, because we're a little bit of a fever. But no, we're back on track. We got the show back on track. It's a computer-based world. Everything we do goes through a little tiny silver Apple box. So, I mean, it's not like, there's a hinge or a spring missing that we can go fix. We just had to basically reboot the computer and it all came back right online. So that's perfectly fine. And that's welcome to the computer world. So other than that, we got Kate, we got Gwen, Matt, Linda, Betty, Dave's here. Everyone's showing up. I hope they're all enjoying their New Year's resolutions because, we all like to make them. I don't even try to make them anymore because I never keep up with them other than making sure that, we have plenty of ice cream in the summertime, but we can't do that now anymore anyway. So that's really no fun. But yeah, I mean, a lot of things going on locally. All of our new elected officials will be sworn in here probably this week. And of course the Erie Times. I will, Miss Kate. Thank you. We took it very easily. Didn't go anywhere. I was itching to use my new Husqvarna locally purchased Base Supply snowblower. Works really nice. Yeah, they'll be getting sworn in. It was nice to see the Erie Times News National Enquirer basically dedicated the whole page to Derry and the Pizza Girl. So I mean, here we are. It's just everyone's like, oh, we're so excited to be transparency. And man, it's gonna be the same old. Tax and spend. Bretton's last words as he's walking out the door: no new taxes. And of course, the Democrats like, but we're gonna take you to court and we're gonna prove that you have to pay more taxes. That's why I don't understand what we are doing to just sit back and allow these elected officials to just, yeah, you're going to get a tax increase and we're going to take you to court and we're going to spend the money. And the solicitor that the Erie County Council has is just a absolute Democrat. He's not even Colvert anymore. Tallarico, he's a Democrat. He hated Brenton Davis. He openly said he hated Davis. So that's real nice when our attorney is fighting against the upstairs. Try to get rid of them. We didn't have the votes to get rid of them because everything is definitely done by a vote, and we were one short getting rid of Tallarico, or we would have got rid of them while I was there. But we did our best, so now you're with it. And now you have uh, a pizza lady that is way over her head with this county government stuff, and I see that she went through and basically got rid of all the departments. Hi, Mr. Dave, you're live.
Well, good evening, Mr. Shank.
How you doing?
I think from watching your show, when was that? Wednesday? I think I might have caught what you had.
Well, I didn't have a mask on, so
Yeah.
if I was got anybody sick, I humbly apologize. I do we do have a foam cover over the microphone. I did my best.
Well, I think I got it. I definitely caught it from you coming
It's
through the airways here.
it's going there. It's going
It
around.
isn't bad. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a cold or a flu or
It-
it's like
it's a
I got a
quickie.
cough. I had a real slight fever. I
Oh
believe.
yeah, that's exactly what we had. All of a sudden I'm like, yeah,
Runny nose.
yeah, oh yeah. I was sitting there off camera with tissues in my nose because
Yeah, I don't think it's a cold. I think it might. It might. Did you get a flu shot?
no, I did not.
No, I got a flu shot, so I'm wondering if maybe it's the flu, but I'm not. They say if you get a flu shot, you don't get it as bad if you do have it. But
I didn't get a flu shot this year. Usually do, didn't get one this year. I just didn't. I was like every year I get one, then I'm like, well, I'm gonna try this year and see what I don't get. If I don't get it. So yeah, no, it was here. It hits you, it knocks you on your backside, and then it just said, okay, I'm done.
yeah.
It's like a demo.
Well, wait a minute. You said this week. Come on now. The big doing is tomorrow.
Which one?
Well, the swearing in.
Oh, I know. That's what I said. This week, that's tomorrow. The big swearing in.
Yeah, I guess you're. Yeah, I guess technically you're right. Tomorrow is week.
Yeah, it's next week. This week, Sunday.
Did you happen to make arrangements to get one of the seats, because you had to make arrangements early to get one of the seats in the city council chambers?
No, I don't think my name would come up very high on that list. I mean, I know my name's not Joel Natale, and I don't have the media creds that he does to finagle his way into that. Whoop-de-doo, they're making it sound like it's a big new thing that's never happened before. It happens every 4 years, so it's whatever, dude. Whatever, knock yourself out. And,
Yeah, he already said on his show that he's gonna be there.
yeah. Okay.
But Mr. Horton is who you see who's going to be swearing in Mr. Horton?
Probably I would go with Brock.
No,
No, because
No.
they hate each other, actually.
this one sort of threw me for a loop. Mr. Judge Trusilla.
Well,
I don't know the connection there at all.
I think they're all Erie guys. They all grew up together. If my memory serves me right, they played ball or something together at.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's an Erie thing. The The guys are all Erie guys. The mayor's here. Hey, look at we say mayor, and Mayor Graves shows up. That's cool.
Yeah. But I see they already have the 12th state. They already had a mini rally for the Venezuela fiasco.
I'm shocked it took this long.
Well, they're probably
Print-
already starting to get the plans ready for maybe this coming weekend for a big doing down at.
I know, and it's so
Park.
funny. You read some of the comments on yeah, it's illegal. It's illegal. Well, actually, it's not, because what? First of all, Barack Hussein Obama was the one that actually put this in motion. 5+ years ago, while he was president. And then let's not forget about all the things. Well, George W. Bush did some bombings. Barack did some bombings. Joe Biden did some bombings. And he even did some bombings in Somalia. I mean, here these guys, these are presidents. They didn't have congressional approval for any of this stuff. It's okay when they do it, but the minute Trump does it, oh my God, it's illegal. It's illegal. It's against the law. And you know what? and our little new dictator buddy, as he was walking, they were doing the perp walk with him. He was wishing it. He was like, "Oh, Happy New Year, everybody." I'm like, he didn't seem like he was being that badly treated.
Yeah. Somebody was saying that, I don't know how true it is. I looked it up. They were saying that he's probably going to make a deal because of the voting machines. One of the voting machines was has something to do with Venezuela.
Well, if you go back, a couple of years, 2020, and you go back where a lot of this stuff is happening, was it came that the rumors were coming out of Venezuela, because it's a neutral entity. You got China, you got Russia. Everybody could go do whatever they do, and it's all out of Venezuela. I read that there's a bunch of theories that he's going to cut a deal to show that the 2020 election was rigged. I mean, think about it. And then, of course, Trump sitting on the barrel of oil, and the Chinese guy in Russia's, sitting there crying.
Yeah.
He controls the oil. We control the oil now, and now we control the whole deal. But again, it's so funny to watch these. All the white women, sorry, ladies, are on TV protesting to support our dictator. But if you go and you look at some of the Venezuelan Americans, they're celebrating that this clown is gone, because they actually left as political people out of the country so that they weren't murdered. They're excited, but the dumb white people that don't even know where Venezuela is are the ones protesting.
I see Matt Sapp said Dominion. I think I looked it up. What was the other one? There was another voting machine. It was Dominion, and there was another one.
Yeah,
it was the other one that I guess was the one that Venezuela monkeyed with.
Well, yeah, but I mean, and like I said, it's like a neutral entity. We had no real way to get in and get out. China's been playing with it. Russia's been down there. Russia sells all their fourth string 1970s armament, and China wants the oil, so they've been buddies.
Yeah,
and they got nothing new and fancy like we do, and they're like, we're gonna get ingrained to a war, dude. We're done. It's over. It was done in a couple hours, man. I've seen baseball games longer than that.
Yeah. Well, anyway, that's all I got. I don't have too much tonight. Like I said,
Well, Matt,
thanks a lot for giving me your sickness.
We are a team, sir. We are a family.
Yeah.
Matt just typed in there, Smartmatic.
Smartmatic. That's it. That's the one. I guess Dominion and Smartmatic were together, and then they split.
Well, yeah.
But Smartmatic stayed with Venezuela or something. That's what I read. You could read anything, but
I know. Well,
I heard that it was Dominion and Smartmatic. I got to check that out. And then when I did a little checking, I see that they split prior to the 2020. But Smartmatic had something to do with Venezuela.
Well, yeah.
Up until the 2020 election.
Well, Jasmine Crockett, Miss Eyebrows, she was the one on the media screaming foul that it's not fair that Dominion was purchased by a conservative Republican, because they bought it to rig the election. And we talked about it on the show. I said, wait a minute, Jasmine. Are you telling me that, the people who owned it during the 2020 election could rig the election? Because now you're saying the new owners can rig the election. So they talk out both sides of their faces. They're such hypocrites. They can't even get their lies and deceptions straight. They can't anymore, because it's just so full of bullpucky. And you know what? They just don't like it when they aren't able to cheat. And they just come up with a new thing to hate this week. Well, last week was last week's issue. This week it'll be Venezuela. That we took that poor dictator out. We didn't shoot him. We remember Noriel. What was his name? Panama. The guy in Panama. Noriel. I can't remember his name. They went down there and they drug his ass out of there. Him and his wife and her shoes. Remember that?
Yeah.
But that's okay. They did it. But when we do it to take out a real dictator, we're committing war crimes. Noriega. Yeah, that's it. I was like, I couldn't remember the name, but I just remember his wife had like millions,
hundred thousands pairs of shoes.
millions of dollars worth of shoes, and they weren't just like Walmart cheapies either.
Well, it's the Trump decision du jour.
Yeah.
That they protest all the time and complain about, no matter what it is.
I know. It's just Trump derangement syndrome. They
Yep,
got to have
that's
something to bitch about, so they have something to bitch about, and then that's fine. You knock yourself off, freedom of speech. I saw that little photo on social media, 12th and state, that they were already protesting. I imagine.
Yeah.
Rennie and Raiders and Freda Teffers and Chucky Nelson and
Shanley, maybe.
Yeah.
You know him?
Oh yeah. He's number one in my book.
He's another one.
Yeah, we should. You know what we should do is we should just go to his bookstore of the Liberty Plaza and just sit there. And I wonder if they have any Trump books. He owns a bookstore over on.
Who owns the bookstore?
Chemley. You didn't know that?
Shanley?
Yeah, he owns a bookstore right there at Liberty Plaza. We should all go there with our mega hats on and read some mega
I didn't
books.
know that.
Yeah,
I didn't know he owned that.
Yeah, he's going to be moving on to State Street.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure Derry will take care of him. Maybe give him a couple, maybe a grand or something.
Well, that's
place up.
they're all members of the Socialist Party. I imagine they're all in cahoots with the monies.
Yeah.
That's all.
All right, then. Have a good night.
Hope you feel better, my friend.
Talk to you later.
Bye-bye. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, even the big Navy guys, they can get sick. And we're getting older too, man. It doesn't take much to take when you get a little older. You get out there. I have videos showing that Dominion easily accessed by anyone. It's connected right to the cloud. Well, Matt, we know that. I mean, we get it. And then they sit around there. Oh, it's the most secure elections in U.S. history. Yeah, no. See, we got everything working, and I can hear everything now. Hi, Kim, you're live.
Well, you are sounding a little bit better, Brian.
I see the twinkle back in my eye, and I'm not sounding like I'm underwater.
Well, that's wonderful. I'm calling to remind everybody that there is a Erie County Republican meeting on Thursday the 8th, and it is to vote in a new vice chairman.
At what time? 7 o'clock?
7 o'clock at the headquarters down on Peninsula.
And if you are a committee person, I would highly suggest you go, because we need to pick a new vice chair. Since Tom Eddy has quit, and then Cliff Smathers steps forward, that leaves the vice chair seat open, and you got to have Batman and Robin. So,
Correct. And even if you're not a committee person, I would recommend people go that are interested in running for committee, because they will be talking about the new committees coming up, subcommittees coming up this following year, with 250th anniversary of our beautiful United States. They will be talking about the Lincoln breakfast, the Reagan dinner, and I talked to Mr. Smathers, who I am thrilled has taken over. I think he's gonna do a fabulous job. We're gonna talk about subcommittees, maybe a committee for following up on the ballots, a committee for door knocking, a committee for making the 4x8 frames, and so forth. So anybody's interested, I would highly recommend you come out. All input is wanted and everything. We will also be having a fabulous meeting hosted by myself and Melanie Brewer, same location at 6 p.m. on the 15th. And this is for anybody that wants to become a new committee person. We will go over all the ins and outs of how to run for committee, how to be placed on committee. So please, you guys, come out for that. I know there's been a lot of questions about this. We'll be happy to answer any and all questions on that.
Yep.
We are also looking for a candidate to run against our wonderful state rep, Bob Mursky.
Yeah. And trust me, if you decide to run against him, you will have my undivided attention and support. And we will do everything we can to take out these three knuckleheads, the three stooges here in Erie County that support late-term abortions. I mean, I usually don't get too involved in the abortion deal. I get it. But this late-term verbiage is disgusting.
It's
Absolutely
murder. It's
disgusting.
murder,
It is.
plain and simple. And speaking
Yeah,
of that, anybody that wants to come to the pro-life breakfast, that is coming up on I believe the 17th.
correct.
It's cheap, guys. It's only $30. Your money goes to a fabulous, fabulous cause. It's going to be at the Bayfront Convention Center, and the food is outstanding.
Yeah.
So please, you can go on their website and purchase a ticket. You can go by the office over here on West 26th Street and Green Garden. Go in, talk to Tom. We were really lucky that Brian got him on the show, and he's just a wonderful human being. So please, we encourage you to go out for that. And before you go to bed tonight, if everyone could just give a little prayer out to Lou Aliota. He's really suffering.
Oh, no,
We
I
had the
didn't know
loss
that.
of a great Republican, his best friend, who was a doctor. He just passed away this last week, and Lou's taking it kind of hard.
Hey, Dr.
Um,
Wu. Yeah, Dr. Wu.
yeah,
Nice guy.
Dr. Wu.
Nice guy. Smart. I mean, this guy just smart. You know how you get. No, most doctors are smart, but there are the fake doctors and the doctors that just like to pretend they're doctors, and
Right.
they're not
A
as smart as the
great
real ones.
Republican,
Right.
great Republican, true patriot, just the nicest guy in the world. Just passed away. His funeral will be on, I believe, the 11th at Duskus Funeral Home. So if before you go to bed, if you can just say a few prayers for Lou, he's taking this really hard. He was Lou's mentor and like a brother. So if you guys can
Yeah,
just say a
good
few
point.
words
Thanks for
for
bringing
Lou,
that
we
up.
really appreciate
Appreciate that.
that.
That's why we love your calls, because you're the I'm the Batman, you're Robin. You're right there.
Yes, absolutely.
That girl.
And then, so that's what's going on so far. And like I said, anybody who's not doing anything Thursday night, feel free to come out. Gives you an idea of what the Republican committee does, and go out and congratulate Cliff, because I think he's going to do a bang up job. His phone's
Absolutely.
always open. He always answers it. He's just a really, really nice guy, and he gives really great hugs.
Yeah,
So
don't.
congratulations again to Cliff Smothers on being the new ECRC chairman.
No.
And with that, I'm going to let you go, and everybody have a safe and happy week.
All right.
Thank
Thanks,
you,
Kim.
Brian.
Appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Yep, it's going to be a breath of fresh air to have Cliff Smathers in there. He's just that, is that very high energy, very positive guy, not Mr. Grumpy Pants. So yeah, Brenda reminded me. I got a video. Go ahead.
Hello, everybody. Happy January 2nd. January 2nd is my nomination for probably the worst day of the year. I'm not hungover or anything, but I do miss Christmas already. The good news is, however, that even though the bulk of the Christmas celebrations are gone, Jesus is not. Jesus is still here. I have a second piece of good news for you. Starting this Tuesday, January 6th, I'm going to be sort of doing a bit of an open house at the GOP headquarters in Erie. That's 1600 Peninsula Drive in Erie, and I'm going to be there every Tuesday evening starting this Tuesday. From 5 to 7 p.m., I'm going to be there to help you sign up for your early voting or answer any questions that you have about that. And I'm going to be there to help facilitate volunteer work as well. If you're interested in writing postcards or door knocking or phone banking or whatever it is that you want to do, Tuesday nights, 5 to 7 at the Erie GOP is my time to be available for you, to answer your questions and to help activate you, whether it's early voting for yourself or volunteering to drive Republican turnout with the early voting options and make sure that we win these 2026 midterms and preserve the last 2 years of Trump's presidency. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, that's Caleb, and of course, we're very blessed to have him in the area. He works with Scott Pressler. We needed some boots on the ground, and you ask and you shall receive. Scott knows how important Erie County is, and this is I hate to go the other direction. It's like, this is a turning point. I know that's not the group, but this is a turning point with our local Republican Party where this stuff has never been done before. And it is really a breath of fresh air to have new kind of ways of doing things and not keep doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different outcomes. Now we're bringing the fight to us. Now all you got to
I,
do is
I think we lost him. He's not in the wings anymore.
oh, I didn't know he was coming on the show. I just thought we were gonna play his video.
Well, I didn't know he was coming in either, but he was in
Oh,
the wings. That's why I sent that message. He's in the wings.
he didn't. He told me he couldn't come. And we would just play a video instead. If he pops back in, just tell me no. I thought that was just when you said that he was in the wings. I thought that was his video, sitting there in the queue. That's all.
Oh, no, that was him.
Oh, no big deal. I'm sorry. I would have known. I would have just popped it in.
Okay.
Yeah, if he comes back in, just hold him and we'll bring him back. Again, adapt and overcome. That's where he goes. That's the thing about live, podcasts, what we do. You just got to kind of go with the flow. Of course, there's nothing we can do without talking about what's going on in Venezuela. We talked a little bit about it on the monologue, and now we've got a little bit of video to back that up, of course, because, we don't want to get accused of skewing our facts.
Last night, on the order of the President of the United States, and in support of a request from the Department of Justice, the United States military conducted an apprehension mission in Caracas, Venezuela, to bring to justice two indicted persons, Nicolas and Cecilia Maduro.
Nicolas Maduro had his chance until he didn't. He effed around and he found out.
This was one of the most stunning, effective, and powerful displays of American military might and competence in American history.
Like, I don't understand yet how they haven't figured this out. And now, if you don't know, now you know. Because this is the way it's going to play out. And I think people need to understand that this is not a president that just talks and does letters and press conferences. And, if he says he's serious about something, he means it. But don't play games. Don't play games with this president's in office, because it's not going to turn out well.
Now, of course, I expected a top-notch video coming out of here. Here this guy sits down in Venezuela talking, come get me, come get me. Okay. And again, they were just, it's so funny. Everyone, all the haters about all this ICE stuff going on. And the first word out of their mouth is, well, they don't have a warrant. Well, guess what? They had a warrant for the two of these people to bring some bad hombres, as President Bush said, to justice. And they are here. And it's funny, that they brought him to New York. And of course, what's going on in New York, other than the swearing in of our new socialist, communist, Muslim, absolute gonna sit back and make lots of popcorn and watch New York crumble. So you want to go ahead and play Munami's little swearing in and go ahead.
I,
Zoran Kwame Mamdani,
Zohran Kwame Mamdani,
do solemnly swear
that
I will support the Constitution of the United States,
I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of New York,
the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Charter of the City of New York,
and the Charter of the City of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of the Mayor of the City of New York,
according
to the best of my ability. So help me God. Congratulations, Mr. Mayor.
Well, if you didn't really catch who was swearing him in, of course, Donald Trump's most favoritist, crookedest, dirtiest attorney general in U.S. history. And by the grace of goodness and on the skin of her teeth, she's not in jail by a technicality. But boy, they sure made a point to put her right up front to do the swearing in. And of course, they did several swearing in ceremonies. And my favorite one was Bernie Sanders. Mr. Bernie Sanders. If you got the word socialist involved, or there's anything free to give out, Mr. Bernie Sanders will be there. And he was there, giving us all up in his frumpy little jacket. And like, come on, man. You at least don't look like you are broke, and we know you're not. You're worth millions. But yeah, so that very very interesting. That's happening, and of course we're going to get our local socialist swearing ins this week locally for county executive and of course the mayor. Then we're going to sit back and watch it happen here locally. So hey, you know what? Grab some popcorn. And what we got next? Oh yeah, this next one. It's tagged church voters. Now remember we talked about how secure the last election cycles and how secure voters are and how are they cheating. Here it is, several cycles down the road on all this stuff, and this is how they are harvesting. Oh yeah, that's right. You got it. I just got a text. Brenda's like, no, another Venice video also. So go ahead and play that second Venezuela one. Sorry about that.
Venga por mí. Aquí no esperen Miraflores. No se tarde en llegar, cobarde.
I just got three things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine!
I'm organized with the Revolutionary Communists of America. We're out here to say hands off Venezuela.
Healthcare, no money for childcare, no money for universal education, but there's money for bombs.
And we unequivocally stand with the people of Venezuela against U.S. imperialist aggression.
What do you think about the people of Venezuela celebrating on the streets?
I saw images of Venezuela being bombed after the U.S. bombed Caracas, so I'm not sure what you're talking about, but yeah, I think you should
Can you show me the bombings that you're talking about? I didn't see any.
No, I just saw it on Reddit. It was on the front page of
there it is.
I'm at a protest by the detention center where former president of Venezuela, Nicolas Maduro, has been detained and captured by the Trump administration.
What the U.S. did is just a blatant example of all they care about is the oil. They don't care about the Venezuelan people. What they're interested in is expanding the domination of the U.S. rulers, really, in Latin America and around the world.
Some Venezuelans are cheering right now that Maduro, who's been a dictator, who's done very terrible things, has been captured. What do you say to those people who are celebrating?
Why do we kidnap another country's foreign leader for supposed crimes? If that were the case, why don't people have the right to kidnap Donald Trump or Benjamin Netanyahu and bring them to court for their crimes?
Trump says he's going to run Venezuela for the time being. What is your reaction to that?
What they do to Venezuela is the same thing that they want to do to working people right here,
which is
to defend the interests of the rich, not the interests of working people.
Everything that he builds is based on lies, and here he is lying as if he's doing some favor to the Venezuelan people, when in reality, what he's doing is opening up the doors for all his billionaire friends to come and loot and ravage the country.
What do you fear is going to happen next in Venezuela after this?
I fear that the Trump administration will continue to provoke. I hope that they don't. I hope that the government is able to continue to move forward, that sanctions are lifted, that people are able to survive. This kind of behavior will do nothing but destabilize the entire world.
Yeah.
It's a combination of feelings, of course. There's fears, there's excitement. There's so many years that we've been waiting for this. That something had to happen in Venezuela. We all need the freedom.
Venezuela. Come celebrate with us. We love everybody because you, America, has loved us so much. So much. Thank you, America.
Edgar, thank you so much for sharing those sentiments. Guys, this is something that I find really interesting here. Everyone here, American, Venezuelan, have said they're so happy for the freedom that they experience here, and they just hope that freedom translates into their home country, Venezuela. All we've heard was freedom, freedom, freedom. Yes, we did it. Now we can continue to move.
It wasn't that amazing. The people that are from Venezuela or Venezuelan descent are very appreciative of liberating a dictator. And I love reading the articles online. They refer to him as the president of Venezuela. That is a lie. That is a propaganda lie from the media to make this more sound evil and more criminal. He is not. He was not elected in the election. He didn't win. He just took power. So he is not the legitimate president of Venezuela. But again, the media loves to spin this up. And here you got, the white, angry Karens and Kens of whatever. They had jackets on, so it looked like they was cold. Complaining about this going on in Venezuela. The people that fled the country are like, muchas gracias, thank you. And, they'll bring this country back on track. They will have a strong ally in that region of the world, which that's what we're supposed to do, is stabilize and make democracy. A country that actually can get out and have people come out and vote, and not have dictators rule with Russian missiles and Russian tanks and Russian everything else, and China behind there playing puppet master. So you know what? Don't feed into the baloney. Let the lefties have their little tantrum this week. This is going to be their new we hate everything is going to be about this war. What war? It's done and over with, guys. It was done before we got up and had our coffee in the morning. So don't feed into it. Just let it go. Let the people have their tantrum. Let them roll on the ground, on the floor, have tantrum, take their binkies away, and let the adults do the adulting in the room, and we'll have fun. So again, sorry, I got a little, sometimes the videos don't right, but this is about the church voting. How much, this is how it's being done. Now, we know it, we see it. Now, how do we fit? Well, we have Turning Point USA, Early Vote Action. We've got these people that are working. Now, we are going to come together as a local Republican Party on a huge swipe. We are changing the Erie County Republican Party. We are going from 25, 30 members that do anything to probably 100 members that are going to start doing stuff. And this is how we're going to make change. And now you saw the little promo video from Caleb. He is going to be at the headquarters on Tuesdays. Reach out to him. He'd love to come have you come see him. Now be careful of the weather. Be careful. Watch. But yeah, and these are exciting times. Things that are happening that have never ever happened. Yeah, and we go from there. So here we are. Go ahead and play that church video, Brenda.
Why would 1,000 people be registered to vote from one single location, 201 Washington Street Southwest? And when you come here, you realize that this is actually a church. What was happening when we were looking through the voter registration list from the previous election cycle is I noticed well over 1,000 people registered from one single location. Come to find out, it's a church. When we looked into it further, we realized what was actually happening here. It's actually a very well-organized plan by Democrat donors like George Soros. George Soros poured in millions into an organization here in Atlanta that did what? They went around this entire place and signed up all the homeless people. It's during the day right now, so you don't see all the homeless people, but usually this place is filled with homeless people. So an organization that supports Democrats received money from people like George Soros to go and register homeless people to be able to vote from one single place. And to make things even crazier, if we turn around, this place is directly across the Georgia Capitol. All it took for me is to find the voter list and to see why is there more than 1,000 people able to register from one place to realize that something is wrong here. The building right next to 201 Washington Street is actually a Catholic church. Well, guess what? This place, 48 Martin Luther King Jr. Drive Southwest, has registered over 2,000 people to vote from one single location. And guess who it was? It was the progressive organization signing up homeless people that are literally right across the street. It's freezing here in Atlanta. It's actually 35 degrees at 1 p.m. But usually all of this area is filled up with the homeless people. And again, we're outside one of these mega churches that ended up registering more than 1,000 people to vote from just one single.
Yeah. And if you don't think for 1 second this is not happening in Erie, I know for a fact this has happened. I had several people send me pictures about stuff that was going on Parade Street. They were giving out free lunches for people to sign up to register to vote. The homeless people, Andre Horton and his brother were openly out recruiting people. You know, a member of county council, a member of Erie County Board of Elections was out there encouraging people to sign up to register to vote via free meals. So, you know, if you don't think this isn't happening here in Erie County, you're crazy. Michelle Privet and the gang, they took on a mission to help encourage the purging of the rosters. Well, you know, unfortunately, it's a huge task to keep up with if somebody passes away to get them off the rosters. You know, and the problem is some people say they're registered to vote in Erie, but they pass away in Florida during the wintertime. You know, that line of communication sometimes is severed and they don't get good intel about that person passing away. So Michelle Privet took on the mission about purging them, and I tell you what, they caught a lot of people that unfortunately had passed away, and we had them fixed. And boy, I tell you what, the local libs were absolutely Shank is paying for it. He's paying for it out of his own pocket. I just said, you guys need some help. I can buy you some envelopes. You want me to buy some stamps? You know, it was on social media, so I have nothing to hide. There's nothing illegal about it. Of course, like Shank. My God, you guys are cooking the books. You guys are doing what you do to get people registered to vote and setting up tents on Parade Street, registering homeless people. And but if I volunteer to donate some envelopes or some stamps to get letters out to help clear the rosters, oh my God, again, the party of hypocrites. It's okay if they do it, but once we do it, it's bad. How of a show do we get to have two seated, duly elected mayors of some cool neck of the woods places? They got Longo, we got Mr. Graves, you know, hope everything down your neck of the woods, Slippy Rock, sir, is doing great. Nice to see you. I hope your lovely wife and new one are doing well. And again, the holidays are over, so now, like Brenton Davis used to say, now let's get to work. You know, and I reached out to Dan Laughlin to see if he could come on the show, just to kind of just give us some updates of what's going on in the town and what's big plans. And of course, he's a tough guy to nail down to come in and live. Brendan and I sat down with Restream today, and we figured out how to pre-record a show and play it later. We reached out to Stacey Garrity's folks. They want to come on the show. We're reaching out to Dan Laughlin, Jake Banta, all the local folks that are movers and shakers. I actually encourage Bob Mursky to come on the show and defend his vote. I challenge him to come on the show live and let's have a conversation. Bob, if you're willing to sit down in Harrisburg behind your little mouse clicker and make decisions for me without my approval, why don't you come on the show? I challenge you to come on the show live. You can come on a video feed. You can come on a phone call. It won't be a get you a bloody massacre type of deal. I'll be nice. I'll be professional, but I challenge you to come on the show. People, I want you guys to all email Bob and have him come on the show. I bet you. Hey, Brad. Hey, what's going on, buddy? I bet you he won't come on the show. I bet you he won't. Now he'll go on the Joe Natale show because Joe Natale just plays with softballs and snow cones, and of course he's a Democrat himself, but he says he's a Reagan Republican. So yeah, he only brings on the Democrats on his show, and but we're not scared. We'll bring Democrats, we'll bring Republicans on here. You want to have a conversation? You want to vote to make sure that you unalive young people? Why don't you come on the show? Why don't you stand behind your words and your vote and look the people in the camera and tell them why you did it? But he won't. I know he won't. So other than that, man, California, I tell you what, Newsom is absolutely leaving a scorched earth as he leaves his tenure as governor. How many companies? There's the list is long. This was just one of the newest ones. I had no idea that they were as big as they were, and they're leaving California. We talked about the oil refineries. We talked about this and Cisco and all these other things that are leaving. Now this is Frito-Lay. Frito-Lay's like, we're out of here. We're taking our nachos and we're leaving. So they're going to go someplace and make nachos great again. Brenda.
The Frito-Lay manufacturing plant in Rancho Cucamonga is closing after more than 50 years in business.
I don't know how folks are going to make up for this. Those jobs were full-time, year-round jobs.
Have the decency not to threaten people as they go to school.
A 50-year-old Frito-Lay plant just goes dark, leaving 500 workers clueless overnight, and the governor of California freezes as the shutdowns begin. This is panic disguised as silence while California's real jobs collapse in real time. If this moment doesn't set off alarms right now, the next closures won't wait for permission.
As it plans to close its Frito-Lay plant.
Plant A factory in Rancho Cucamonga that ran for more than 50 years just went dark. The machines stopped, the line workers clocked out for the last time, and nearly 480 jobs disappeared without a single announcement. Sacramento says almost nothing, and that's what makes this moment unsettling. Because when a plant that fed families for decades shuts its doors this quietly, it's not a one-off, it's a warning sign. And California seems determined to look the other way.
Pepsi says the closure is driven by business needs. The company says it will provide transition assistance, career support, and benefits to employees who are impacted.
This wasn't some obscure factory making parts no one's heard of. This was a Frito-Lay manufacturing plant producing Doritos, Cheetos, Funyuns, and Tostitos. Snacks found in nearly every grocery store in America. Products that sell in good times and bad times. If a facility like this can no longer survive in California, then something deeper is breaking underneath the surface.
Parent company PepsiCo Foods says manufacturing at the plant has stopped, but warehouse, distribution, and transportation will still be operational. The announcement means hundreds of workers will be laid off. Several employees tell KTLA they were given 10 weeks of severance pay, but were not given an opportunity to transfer.
The shutdown happened in June 2025. Manufacturing ended completely. Over half a century of continuous production just stopped. What remains at the site is telling. Warehouse operations, distribution, fleet, transportation. The physical shell still exists, but the heart is gone. This is how industrial exits actually happen. First, the production lines vanish. Then the rest slowly follows. It's never announced as a collapse. It's presented as a transition. And the human cost gets buried in that word. Around 480 manufacturing workers were laid off. Many of them weren't new hires. These were long-term employees. People who built entire lives around that plant. Families where the job passed from one generation to the next. When those jobs vanish, severance checks don't replace what's lost. Benefits run out. Stability disappears. And the local economy absorbs the hit quietly. One closed shop and one missed rent payment at a time.
PepsiCo Frito-Lay has announced the closure of their Liberty food processing plant in a statement that they released. Quote, PepsiCo Foods US announced the closure of their facility in Liberty, New York.
PepsiCo says this was about restructuring, rising costs, and weaker consumer demand. That language sounds clean, but the reality isn't. PepsiCo still runs more than 30 Frito-Lay plants across the United States. This wasn't about chips not selling, it was about where it's cheaper and easier to operate. California didn't lose demand, it lost priority. What makes this shutdown even more disturbing is how it slipped past the system that's supposed to protect workers. California's WARN Act exists to make large layoffs visible. It's meant to alert employees, local governments, and communities so they can prepare. But this closure never appeared in WARN filings. 480 layoffs, off the radar.
Now, did you catch that? They also discussed New York. Well, here you have two large Democrat-controlled states that are losing jobs. And Mondavi is going to just tax everybody over $1 million. Well, does that mean he's going to tax himself? Is his mommy and daddy going to get taxed too? But I mean, it's probably one of those issues of, they have plenty of shell money and plenty of lawyers and accountants to make sure that they don't get hit. And, people are leaving, and I get that, but not my problem. Like I always like to tell people, not my circus, not my monkey. And, let New York. That's why, I have friends that get mad at me like, hey man, let's go on a bike and let's go out to Pine Junction and let's go out there. I won't go to New York. I refuse to go to New York. I refuse to spend my money in a state that doesn't support me. They're horrible on their Second Amendment. If I carrying a firearm, we are not hand bashing here. I didn't catch that. If there's anything bashing going on in here, they will. I will, Bill. If you're going to come in here and start this, I will have you removed. This is not how we're going to play this game. Are we clear?
There's a lot going on in his life that you don't know about and that others don't know about. So leave it alone.
Yeah. We can come in here and have a conversation, but if it comes down to personal bashing of folks like that, I pick on Bob Mursky because he has earned every right of it. Dan has done nothing other than not vote the way you think he should. You've gotten in trouble with this before. You started again. I will have you removed and you will never come back. I will block you every which way I can. Are we crystal clear? I'm not playing your games, Bill. You played this game with me before, and I let you back, and then you played your games again. You start this shit again, you're out. Go have a tantrum. Go call me names on social media again, and do what you got to do. I will not have that on the show. No, absolutely not. Like I said, you know what, Bill? I'll tell you what. Why don't you get a petition out? Why don't you run for Senate? Why don't you run for state rep? You always have an opinion, and you always like to throttle down on everybody. It doesn't matter if they're Republican or Democrat. Why don't you run for office? It's easy to sit back and be a keyboard hero and be a tough guy when you won't even you barely get out and vote. So I don't want to hear it. Brenda, matter of fact, just block him out of the show because I'm not playing with him anymore. He's been warned 5, 6, 10 times. He's done. Block him. Go on to that thread and block him out of the show. I'm not playing that game here. That's not how this show works. You want to come in here, voice your opinion. That's fine, but it's not going to get into a bash session like that. No. Let's see. What's I can't read the next one. Whatever the next video is, go ahead and play it. I'll click it.
Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door.
And just to let you know what that's the Washington Monument. They had 4 massive projectors, one on every sign, projecting images on New Year's Eve. That is absolutely amazing. The technology is there, and it is just absolutely cool what they did. And I think that's what this country needs to do, is to come together and heal. And we will have fun on the 250th birthday. Just to let you know, I have the privilege of being on the Erie County committee for the 250th birthday of our wonderful country. So I'm very blessed. I was asked by Bretton Davis to be on that committee. Steve Oler is the chairman. There's a whole group of people I haven't met yet. We haven't had our first meeting. We had a meeting and it was canceled, weather, scheduling, stuff like that. So it'll be just a cool time here in Erie County to be part of history. Think about it, 250 years. Here we are. Let's see. Let's see. What else you got there? Oh, this is a video that Dave sent us. He sent it to Brenda. I didn't see it until we were actually going to go on the on, we do a Brenda puts the videos together. We sit down and we look at them like, okay, that's good, that's good. Hey, don't forget this one. Don't forget Caleb, and then we'll go from there. So go ahead.
Down to Bev's Diner, where the coffee's hot, the grill's always on, and the specials, well, they keep folks talking. This week, Bev's proud to introduce some new house favorites, including our boiled egg and fish combo, simple, protein-packed, and surprisingly popular. For the hearty appetite, try our potatoes and mystery meat, slow-cooked until even the mystery gives up. And yes, by overwhelming demand, the pickled raccoon claws are back, brined just right, crunchy where they ought to be. Now, don't you worry about food safety. At Bev's, we take cleanliness serious. Every surface gets wiped down daily, hands are washed most of the time, and anything questionable gets cooked extra long just to be safe. The atmosphere is friendly, the jukebox still works if you kick it, and no matter who you are, you'll leave full or at least changed. That's Bev's Diner. Come hungry, leave satisfied. And maybe don't ask what the mystery meat was.
I gotta tell you, this AI stuff is absolutely, it's funny, but it's scary funny that they can pretty much come up with any scenario they want, and go from there. Dave said that to Brendan. I hadn't even seen it until we were putting the show together. This last one, I'm telling you, you talk about, if you believe in an entity that overlooks and watches over your shoulders for the good, bad, or indifferent that we do in our lives. This lady must have done something right. Absolutely had somebody watching over her shoulder. Just imagine driving down the freeway, minding your business, and out of the middle of nowhere, an airplane crashes on top of you. Now, she is driving a Toyota. I think if I was a smart CEO, hotshot Toyota guy, I would go find this nice lady and I would give her a brand new Toyota, because what a great commercial. Our cars are so well built, it can survive a plane crash. Which is something you probably should never have to say during a car commercial. But they showed these fires out in California. These fire guys, they were literally driving the trucks through the fire to get out of there, and the tires were on fire, the paint was burning, but they still kept on running, and they ended up a local car dealer gave one of the firemen, because it was his personal truck, a brand new Toyota truck, because it was just so badly burned, but it just kept on running. So talk about, thank your lucky stars and say your blessings and say thank you. So yeah, go ahead and play the plane crash.
It's remarkable video from the emergency landing on a Florida highway. I don't believe this is the woman who was driving when a twin-engine plane landed on top of her car. She walked away from the wreckage all but unscathed.
I got a little scrape from some glass.
The drama happened in rush hour traffic outside Cocoa Beach.
Oh my goodness.
Sparks flying, the mangled car and the plane came screeching to a halt.
A plane just crashed onto a
highway.
On a highway.
James Coffey and his son Peter captured that crash video.
We're running into the debris. It's starting to hit our car.
A plane hit a car as it landed on I-95. It was pretty scary.
A nurse who was on the scene climbed over the highway divider to help. We spoke to nurse Annie Wigley and her husband Bernard. What did you guys think about her reaction to just having a plane crash on her car?
She didn't even realize that a plane had hit her car. She thought it was
a big truck, a 18-wheeler, that hit her.
A first responder can't believe what he's seeing.
Just know God is good, okay? That's just crazy.
By some miracle, the 57-year-old driver sustained only minor injuries. She's so calm, she even had the wherewithal to take photos of her car and crack a joke.
Do you know how much I love my car?
Don't worry about the car, worry about your life.
She gets on the phone to a loved one.
My car's total. Listen, I'm fine.
She cracks another joke.
I'm not gonna pee my pants. Are you getting this on camera, man?
She was in the only spot in the car, the driver's seat, that spared her life. Anyone else, if they were been in the back seat or in the front seat, they wouldn't have made it.
Tell me that wouldn't make a great commercial. I mean, and that lady, I'll tell you what, bless her heart, she came out smiling and probably gave a couple Hail Marys and thank you, Jesus. And that the guy that helped her out of the vehicle, what did he say? God is good. So, I mean, I don't know. Something falls out of the sky and it's an airplane and you're able to walk away. I don't know. It's a good deal. So, other than that, I think that's pretty much all we've got for tonight. You know, we've been trying to keep Sunday's shows right about an hour. That way we can get people, you know, get time for their Netflix, put the kids to bed or whatever. But again, thank you everybody for coming out tonight. We appreciate that. I hope to see you guys. We got a lot of things coming up this week. If you're a committee person, very, very important meeting on the 8th that we will pick a vice chair for Erie County Republican Party. That'll be a good deal. I think it's thank you, Mr. Graves. I appreciate that, sir. You know, you're always a get. Anytime you want to come on the show and have a conversation about all the cool things going on in your town, because you're that kind of mayor. You're a mayor that plows snow, builds kitchens, fixes handrails, and deals with politics. So, you know, you're a politician that carries a hammer. You know, and you know, Mayor Longo, you know, I know you're a boots on the ground guy. And it's funny, both of our mayors that we have the pleasure of coming in here, as you know, Mr. Graves is a Army veteran, Mr. Longo is a Marine. So, you know, you see kind of a thread here that's very common, as you know, veterans are lead, follow, get out of my way. So yeah, you know, Andrew, we'll come up with a day. We'll have you come on. You can come in via a phone call, or you want to come in if you're brave, because you got that cool mustache and beard going on there. And Mr. I don't know. I know you've dropped a lot of weight. You've been working out. You got your bikes running around all over town. It would be great to have you on the show. We've had, you know, JD on the show a couple of times. You know, we'd love to hear the perspective from West County folks. What's going on out there? You guys got some money out of gap funding for county council. And then I know that was a big help. I know that helped you guys out with a project. That was something that I was very proud of on council, that we set that a gap funding money up out of the rescue plan money. That way, small little communities that aren't just in the city of Erie get taken care of. And this is what scares me, in all honesty. Now that we have the pizza lady in charge, that it's all going to get focused back to the city. I can just see the mayor and the county executive sitting out on the park bench, you know, amongst the homeless people, having a bagel sandwich, figuring out which ways can we spend that $64 million surplus the county has on the city of Erie and screw everybody else. And when that happens, I'm going to sit back and I will laugh at you, because we warned you this was going to happen. And we've been pretty right with our predictions about told you so. You know, gap funding went out to Northeast. That's not going to happen under this council. You know, it's not going to happen. You know, a local county council representative here in Harbor Creek voted no against new ambulances out here. I'm like, I can't even say what I want to say, because I'm trying to be better with my language. I really, really am. It's hard sometimes because I just want to bullshit once or twice. Okay, we're going to bring this thing in for a landing, Brenda. Go ahead. Outro, please.
Fight has never been clear. Take a good look in the mirror. and tell me what you see. They throw their stones to silence people, build up their walls to celebrate evil. Destructions are what they seek, and they got their man Charlie. But like an avalanche rolling downhill, like a fighter imposing his will, an army is born. Like the force of a tsunami wave, rising up, going boldly in faith. We cried and we mourned, but now this is war. One bullet, one shot, but don't be mistaken. They took out a life, but united a nation, and we are not afraid. We rise up against those demonic forces who kill and destroy, but for God who our Lord is, standing strong and brave. The sleeping giant waves, like an avalanche rolling downhill, like a fighter imposing his will, an army is born. Like the force of a tsunami wave, rising up, going boldly in faith. We cried and we mourned, but now this is war. They took out someone, a dead husband and son, because of his views and his faith. They thought they had won, no idea what they've done. Now they're lying in the bed that they've made. They took out someone, a dead husband or son, because of his views and his faith. They thought they had won, no idea what they've done. Now they're lying in the bed that they've made, and they created a martyr that day. Like an avalanche rolling downhill, a prize fighter imposing his will, an army is born. Like the force of a tsunami wave, rising up, going boldly in faith. We cried and we mourned, but now this is war. Like an avalanche rolling downhill, a prize fighter imposing his will. He lived without fear. Oh, like the force of a tsunami wave, rising up, going boldly in faith. It won't disappear. Now the whole world hears, so let me be clear. Charlie, we got it from here.
All right, everybody, thanks for coming out. Again, a special thank you to Brenda for putting all the videos together. It was tough last week because we were both under the weather. Much better now. We're getting there. But again, it's still a lot of work to put those together. Thank you again for everything. So just thank you all for coming out on this Sunday night. Again, I will not be here on Wednesday. I have to go do that worky thingy. So I will see you guys next Sunday. If you guys got some good stories, make sure you jot them down and we'll bring them up. We'll bring them up as topic. I'll reach out to Mr. Graves, the mayor out there in West, one of our great politicians out there in West County. We'll get him to come on the show and we'll talk about things that are important in his neck of the woods, because that's what we want to focus on. This isn't about Harbor Creek. It's not about Erie. It's about Slippery Rock. It's about Lake City, Girard. We'll get the mayor Girard to come in, and he's a great guy, great patriot, always helping people out. Again, thanks for coming out on this Sunday night. Go curl up and watch a Netflix. It's still early. Shank out.